Welcome back, my loyal followers. This is the Film Reaper, here to give you another warm welcome to the chilling movies that go hit play in the middle of the night. Today's review is over the 2001 Larry Fessenden movie, Wendigo. In the film, parents Kim and George, played by Patricia Clarkson and Jake Weber, decide to spend a weekend in a small town cabin with their son Miles, played by Eric Sullivan. Their winter trip in the area gets off to a bit of an uneasy start, with their car crashing into a deer and the family getting into an argument with a hunter named Otis, played by John Sparadakos. As they try to shake off their bitter welcome into upstate New York and the odd coincidental run-ins with Otis later on in the film, Miles hears the story of a deer-like monster from Native American stories called the Wendigo. From then on, the strange and unfortunate events that brush with the family continue, and suspicions arise over whether they just might be haunted by the Wendigo spirit after all. While this movie does sound like your typical monster film, it feels like it's really trying to be a different kind of genre than it's selling itself as. It has a lot of elements of psychological horror because it treats the Wendigo more of a spiritual monster than a physical one that goes around killing people. Not that there isn't some of that to a certain degree in the movie. A lot of the first half of the movie, though, despite a few scares, it doesn't really seem like a horror movie. I say that because I feel like the movie does take a pretty long time to get to some of the more hardcore horror elements, more than a film should, in my opinion. I think there's good build up, but then there's just like dragging it out for like way too long at the audience's expense. And I also think there's too much focus on the family itself and too much dialogue and scenes that I think could have been cut out. I don't think it's a lot of stuff that really contributes to the plot much. The family themselves aren't even that interesting or funny, I have to say. And the dad isn't always the most likable, and he also does an offensive Indian accent at least twice during the movie. Not sure why that needed to be included. But in terms of the Wendigo itself, the effects for it are fine for an early 2000s indie movie. Although there's not really long enough still shots of the Wendigo itself because there are a lot of flashes and fast up-close shots in the movie. Like, it doesn't really give you one moment to truly take in the imagery of the beast itself. And if you're a movie calling yourself Wendigo, I think there should be at least one scene, at least by the end, that lets people get a closer, longer, and detailed look at the monster you're selling. I will give this movie points for one jump scare I thought was pretty well done. I won't give away when it happens, but it does not rely on special effects or sound, and it's more the characters' reactions you see and hear first before the jump scare itself. Which, if you've seen this channel for a while now, you'll know that's something I appreciate. Overall, though, I think this film is really okay. I mean, it does rely more on the intense atmosphere for scares as opposed to the monster itself, whose name it shares. Even if you prefer psychological, I would still give this film an okay review because I wouldn't call it a super scary or super intense film. It seems like it focuses more on like the issues like the family faces. I call it more of an intense film that just happens to have a few horror elements. I'll give this film 5 skeleton fingers, a decent skeleton thumbs up. So that's my review of Wendigo. Did you agree or disagree? Leave your thoughts in the comments section below. I'll be off next week, but until next time, slay that like button, subscribe, and of course, Wendigo have a terrifyingly terrific day.